Hi Virgo, welcome to your June 2019 Astrology 33 reading. We have a Celtic cross spread in front of us. I think you got a couple extra cards that came up there. And we also have two oracle cards to get through when we're done with the main spread, and also a mudra card. Also, before I forget, for those of you who want to book a personal reading with me, follow me on Instagram or donate to the channel. Check out the description of the video for more info on that. And also keep an eye out on this channel, because once I'm done posting all of the general readings, I'll start uploading some bonus videos for all the signs as well this month. Alright, so let's get started with the main spread. In the position of the main situation, we have the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Wands. So the way that I'm seeing this playing out, the Eight of Wands could just be pointing to the fact that Mercury, well, very early in the month of June, it's going to be in your 10th house, which is, career, social status. So maybe you're getting some new ideas or perhaps even a new offer in that area of life. But pretty quickly, maybe a week into the month, it'll actually shift into the 11th house. So this could actually just be, hearing a lot from your friends and getting out and about, having some fun socially as well. So that could be what's going on there. This could just be a lot of offers coming in any area, and with the ace, it could just be you trying to decide on which of those you want to pursue the most, trying to weed out which of these might be the best to pursue, trying to narrow down all of those offers and focus on just one that you feel has the best chance of success. Because, to me, the ace energies are more of something in the idea stage, but to me, with eight of these coming out in this energy that we see there, along with that ace, to me, it just represents, you're thinking over which of them you'd like to pursue. So, could be a lot of activity going on for you guys this month. And I do have to point out, especially because I see the Empress in the present position, this could just represent a lot of, sexual communication as well, because that's a pretty obvious phallic symbol there. So if you're not looking to get pregnant this month, something to keep in mind there. And if you are, by all means, have fun, right? Maybe that's saying try often. In the challenger obstacle position, you guys got the Three of Wands. So to me, this could just be saying, this could just represent maybe you feeling a bit restless, because, it could just be saying the challenge is for you to stay in this energy, which, this is often referred to as the waiting for your ships to come in energy. I see this as a combination of that Mars and Sun energy, similar to, that Mars energy is go, 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 but then that Sun is more of the Leo energy of, hey, let the good things come to you, right? So I could be saying that that's what the challenge is for you right now. You might be feeling a little bit restless and, waiting for something that you've been waiting on for a long time. You could be getting a bit impatient at this point. And maybe even for some of you, I would say this is less likely, but this could just be saying to be mindful of staying in this energy too long too, which could just be saying, okay, yes, you have all these offers on the table right now, but don't sit around too long waiting to decide on them, because you might end up missing a chance as well. So you guys will feel how that plays out for you most likely, but I feel the first scenario is definitely more likely for the majority of you. Alright, in the position of the foundation, we have the Page of Cups. So to me, this is usually an offer being made. Like I was saying, the ace is more of an idea stage, the page is more of something, actually physically being presented to you. So given that it's the cups, it would represent a love offer most likely. But, something might seem a bit off to you about the offer, because, what always sticks out to me with this is, well, first of all, I always said the pages are that one foot in, one foot out energy. Like if you look at their stances, they always look like they're a bit unsure of themselves in a certain way, which makes sense. The page is early on as far as the court cards, and you have to step to the knight, the queen, the king. So, makes sense that would be how they would feel as far as energetically speaking. But if we look at the cup, obviously there's that fish in a cup, right? So it's like, why would you offer that to someone before you even check to make sure it was clear, right? So this could just be someone coming forward, making an offer to you, And, since it is in the upright, they might be sincere, but it might just be, could just be, whatever the case. They might be nervous. Maybe they're coming out of their comfort zone to make the offer to you. They might be a bit unsure of how it'll be received. So that could be the type of energy you have going on there. So, that's the main vibe I'm picking up on with that. In the past position, we have the Seven of Wands. So to me, this represents usually conflict, yes, but usually you would have the upper hand in this case. So, you could have been challenged. Doesn't always have to be physically, but you could have been maybe in a competitive environment, for example, and maybe this is just saying that you had the upper hand there. If we see there's six wands, and obviously, if we look at his facial expression, he doesn't look like he's too thrilled about them coming towards him. So, definitely represents defending yourself. But if we also see he has that higher vantage point, which gives him the advantage and the ability to tackle that challenge, even though normally it'd be insurmountable. So, this in the past energy, this could just be saying that you had to stand up against something, stand up for yourself. Like I said, it could have been a competitive field if it was a career related thing. Maybe there were a bunch of you going for a promotion, and maybe you ended up standing out above the rest of the other applicants. That's one way it could play out. Romantically, could be that you were dealing with someone who had a lot of suitors, and maybe you felt like you had to fend them off essentially. Um, yeah, that's the main energy that I'm picking up on there. In the present position, we have the Empress. So this is usually a card that points to Taurus energy. Could also be Libra since they're also ruled by Venus. But to me, this is more of that receptivity energy. I do always try to say, with the Empress and Emperor's energies, though, try to avoid that feeling of entitlement too, though. There's that fine line between being in a receptive energy and also feeling like something or someone owes you something. So, but overall, with this in the present position, I just see this as you feeling comfortable, relaxed, like we were saying, that Three of Wands energy in the challenge position. Maybe with all those things coming towards you, you might find it a little bit more difficult to stay in this energy because you're like, okay, well, so maybe once those offers start pouring in, it might be a little bit hard for you to decide on one, or maybe you want to pursue them all. Like I said, this could just represent your energy fluctuating and increasing as we get into the month of June. But overall, like I said, on the positive side, this would definitely be representing that receptivity. With the energy going on in Gemini, that's your 10th house of social recognition. So, you could just be getting recognized, maybe even in a career setting as well. So maybe, if you've been working hard at something, maybe as we move into the present, with that Gemini energy lighting up your 10th house, you're actually starting to get some recognition and appreciation for your efforts. All right, in the near future position, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is actually a Virgo card, the last 10 degrees of Virgo. And we're not really going to have any planetary energy going there for a bit, so I don't necessarily feel it's that. This could just be pointing to, again, that financial stability, financial increase. Like I said, that can happen when you have your 10th house lit up in the way it is. And like I said, it could have just been, for some of you, maybe a promotion that you were going for, and maybe this is just saying that you ended up getting that promotion, right? And obviously with that, usually with promotions, there's going to be more financial stability as well. This could just represent success and stability in general, though, when it comes to finances, and it's often seen as an energy of, could represent family too, commitment. So there's plenty of ways that could be playing out there. But yeah, overall, definitely a good energy to have. Sometimes I see that as with a bit of a cautionary message too, but I'm not really picking up on that this month, so we won't even delve into that. Definitely see it as a positive for you guys this month. All right, and the position of your influence on the situation, we have the World card. So this represents completions. It's a bit of a Saturn energy as well, and Saturn's definitely busy this month. It's actually retrograding along with the South Node, so and we have the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck as well. So maybe something's come back around that maybe you thought wouldn't come back around, given that we do have that Saturn energy in the mix here as well. And if that's the case, it looks like you finally, let's say it was a karmic lesson that came back around with the Judgment card. This could say that you finally got the lesson, basically. And now you can move past that. So definitely a positive there. And, given that Capricorn is your fifth house, and that's where all this activity is going on, and we mentioned the Empress there. For those of you who actually have been trying to conceive for a while, maybe that's what this is about, saying that, maybe if there's been some difficulty with you guys conceiving this month, you might actually have some success with that. So again, if that's something you're looking for, by all means, like I said, definitely try to put some effort into that this month. But if it's not something you're looking for, be mindful of that as well and take precautions, okay? All right, in the position of the environment's influence on the situation, we have the moon. So, for one, this could point to, again, having a new moon in your 10th house of career and social status. So, definitely, this could all point to, I'm seeing a pretty big vibe there of some kind of promotion. And like I said, with that Seven of Wands, it might have been something that you thought maybe you weren't going to get the opportunity, right? Maybe it seemed like for a while that, you'd lost hope of them choosing you or giving you the promotion, whatever the case may be. But for whatever reason, sometime this month, maybe with that new moon energy, you actually get that second opportunity and do find out that they actually did choose you for the promotion. And then there's actually going to be a full moon as well, and that'll be in your fourth house. So that could be pointing to that as well. The last thing that I'm thinking of with this, though, is the fact that Neptune is, it's in your opposite sign. It's there for a long stay, but it's actually going to be going retrograde towards the end of this month. So, that can actually tend to, if there's some kind of confusion or fog around you, given that this is in the environment position, maybe, you'll start to see things a little bit more clearly once Neptune goes retrograde towards the end of the month. And not to mention, actually, it's going to be squaring Jupiter in your fourth house. So your seventh house and fourth house axis is actually going to be dealing with that Neptune and Jupiter square for a pretty good chunk of the month. So that could have you, maybe not seeing things so clearly in your environment or even trusting them. What I always say to people with the moon in the upright position, I don't really tend to see it as intentional deception. Just think of it as being in a dark room that you're unfamiliar with. You might feel your way around the environment to make sure you don't bump into anything, right? Same concept there. Just feel your way through the situations, and maybe that's what this Empress energy is about, saying, if you're not trusting a situation, if you're not sure which way to go, right, with the Eight of Wands and everything, saying the best option might be to just fall back and let things fall into place and wait to see things a bit more clearly. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Death card. So for those of you, if this Judgment card does represent a second opportunity coming back around that you thought wasn't going to, this is another Scorpio energy here. Scorpio in the 8th house is often referred to as the death and rebirth. I see this obviously as the death and the Judgment as the rebirth energy. So this could just say that, maybe you feared that you wouldn't get a second opportunity at something, but with the Judgment at the bottom of the deck, it looks like you do. Like I said, if it was a promotion, that's the main vibe that I'm picking up on there. Or even just a pay raise of some kind. Maybe you thought that it wasn't going to happen. This month it comes around. Given that this is Scorpio energy too, which is the natural 8th house, this could also even just represent money that might have been owed to you from a settlement, maybe an inheritance that had been held up for a long time, and finally this month you finally get some progress with that there. All right, and then the outcome position, we have the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So Knight of Swords is actually a court card for Gemini. So again, if this is maybe multiple suitors, this could just be saying that there's a Gemini trying to come in and, try to persuade you to not be single anymore, because this Nine of Pentacles is often an energy that represents, being single, similar to the Empress, just not quite at that level. It's also another Virgo card as well, so now we're looking at the middle 10 degrees of Virgo. This could even represent you as well, because like I said, with that Eight of Wands energy, this could just be you feeling a bit energized and more communicative with Mercury moving through your 10th house and shifting into your 11th. But yeah, I feel like most likely this seems like this is someone in pursuit of you. That's the main vibe that I'm picking up on there with the way that these two cards came out. So, something to think about there. And like I said, it looks like you might be having quite a few offers on the table for you guys this month. So there's that. But moving on to the Oracle cards, the first one that you guys have is Yin, and this is from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. There's the artwork for it, and that's number 2, if that has any significance for you. And I think that could go along with that Empress energy too, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what it says though. Alright, it says essential meanings: the feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. So yeah, so far seems to vibe with the reading. The Oracle's message says, this is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. So maybe part of that, maybe that's part of what that moon energy is referring to as well, which is to say, be careful, and maybe that's why that Three of Wands looking towards that Empress energy came up in the challenge position too, which is to say, make sure you don't miss an offer because, you're not paying enough attention with that moon energy there. So, as opposed to saying complete inaction, it's like consciously allowing, which is to say, all right, be on the lookout and be receptive rather than just, expecting things to fall in your lap and not doing anything at all. All right, the relationship message says, let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory there. No need to even elaborate on that. And then the prosperity message says, this is a time when the most effective action is to allow others to show you the way forward. Observe their behavior and follow their lead. Your desire to push through must take a back seat for now. Collaborate and offer your ideas rather than dictating what must happen. Let others come to you. It's important that they feel they have power now. Another meaning is about releasing your need to have things in the form you want. How do you want to feel, basking in your success? Now allow the universe to show you the form. Yin is the sign of essence. Things may go more smoothly than you expect. So that's interesting because that could be how these cards that we have in this main position are playing out too, which is to say, that Ace of Wands could be, you might have your sight set and your mind set on a one specific path, and then the Eight of Wands could say that, there's input from others coming in, and you might be standing firm like, no, yeah, I'm not really, feeling that. But it could just be saying to try to hear them out this month, and maybe a collaborative effort would be best for this month. All right, and then next we have a card from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and you guys got Nightingale Spirit. It says love is all around. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 41 on this one. So we'll take a look at this. I'm pretty sure I've never gotten this one before, so I'm curious to see what it'll say. Alright, it says, in the darkness of night, Nightingale's spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale's song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. So, what that makes me think? Illumination will happen soon, especially, obviously, makes me think of the moon, but, just in general, like I was saying, where maybe this is a matter of you possibly not seeing the offers that are in front of you or not seeing them clearly. And like I said, if that's the case, that could just be the Neptune square Jupiter stuff going on. And towards the end of the month, when Jupiter goes retrograde, or rather when Neptune goes retrograde, you might start to see things a bit clearly at that point. All right, and lastly, we have a mudra card to look at. So for those of you who haven't seen my videos this year, I've been pulling mudra cards for all the signs, and what mudras are is they're basically hand gestures that you hold while meditating. Their purpose is to help clear blockages. So they can be, physical, but usually they're more for mental, emotional level, and usually want to hold them for 5 minutes to upwards of 45 minutes. If you're not used to meditating, though, 5 minutes will be perfectly fine. And this is the actual mudra that you guys got this month, and it's the Hamsi Mudra. And the keyword for it is illumination. So, especially with that moon in the environment, this could be helpful in that regard. But I'll hold up the info on the card so you guys can pause the video or take a screenshot if you wanted to read it. Alright, and it looks like not everything fits in a frame, so I'll move it up so you could see the rest. But yeah, as you could see under benefits, it says removes obstacles in one's life, eases depression and sadness, evokes feelings of lightness and laughter, benefits the lungs and large intestine, improves assimilation of nutrients and elimination of waste. So that sounds like something you think you guys can benefit from this month. I'll also put the name of that mudra in the description so you can check that out as well. But yeah, we'll wrap up there. And like I said, guys, keep an eye out for that bonus video coming once all these generals are posted. And I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.